There are urban legends in every single culture. Most of these urban legends try to teach a lesson of some kind, but there are others that are just downright creepy. While many people think of urban legends as a fake story or a way for a lesson to be taught, there are some people that think there are slivers of truth behind each story. So let's take a look at a few. This is Sinister Stories, and welcome to episode 1 of Creepy Urban Legends from Around the World. We are starting off with a creepy urban legend from Japan called the Teketeke. The beginning of the Teketeke story starts off with a Japanese schoolgirl who is approaching a train station. Most of the versions of this story state that the girl's name is Kashima Reiko. She is impatiently waiting for her train while moving her feet around, and she happens to fall onto the railway line. She hits her head on the rail line and blacks out for a few seconds before realizing what happened. She finally comes to her senses and tries to get up. That is, until she notices the headlight of a train coming right at her. Kashima notices the situation she's in and begins to panic. She tries to get up, but she does not have enough time, and the train splits her body, separating her legs from her torso. Of course, Kashima dies almost instantly, but that is not where the story ends. Kashima's spirit cannot rest and becomes a vengeful spirit, or what the Japanese people call an onryo. So now, Kashima's spirit is said to lurk around train stations, but only the top half of her body. According to the urban legend, she crawls around on her arms and elbows carrying a large scythe. Now, Kashima's spirit is not a spirit you would want to run into, since apparently she will split anybody she sees in half. Apparently, she wants everybody else to suffer the same fate that she did. And now what is probably even scarier to me is that she tends to haunt the bathroom stalls of the train stations. And I don't know about you guys, but anybody attacking me while I'm in the restroom is probably the worst thing I could think of. Being in the restroom is what most people consider their me time, and I think that is when most of us are at our most vulnerable. According to the legend, Kashima will go up to anybody inside of a stall and grab their legs. She will then ask the person in the stall, "Where are her legs?" If you would want to survive this encounter, you would have to tell her that her legs are located in Meishin Expressway. The Meishin Expressway is a toll expressway where apparently Kashima lost her legs. If you answer this quickly, she will leave your legs alone and crawl away. But if you don't, she will rip your legs and take them with her. But at least you don't have to wipe. The beauty with urban legends is that they will evolve with whatever time period they're a part of. We may think of urban legends as old and forgotten stories, but the age of the internet has actually created new ones. Let's take a look at the Curse of the Red Room, an urban legend that appeared in the late 1990s in Japan when PCs were becoming widespread. Now, it's kind of crazy because this urban legend seems to be an earlier version of the modern urban legends we have now involving the dark web. I'm sure many of you have heard those modern urban legends where somebody is being watched from their computer camera, or where somebody gets a random email from a stranger on the dark web and somebody comes to their house and abducts them. The Curse of the Red Room is considered very similar to that, except it might be taken as a more paranormal encounter. According to the legend, if somebody is alone on their PC at night, they have a chance to get a red pop-up on their computer. The pop-up will then freeze on the person's computer and there will be no way for them to close it. The pop-up is entirely red with black Japanese letters on the background asking if you like the Red Room. At this point, anybody might feel uneasy and attempt to leave their room, which they will eventually come to find out that they are unable to. Apparently, all the doors and windows of their room will be locked and there will be no way for them to escape. Now, it is never really described on what happens to the person inside the room, but they are eventually found dead inside, and the walls of the room will be completely red, covered by their blood. This urban legend came into existence when a girl in Nagasaki, Japan was murdered by her classmate. Now, the girl was 12 and the classmate that killed her was 11. Since the murderer was 11, his name was never mentioned in the news or anything like that, but apparently in his computer they found a bookmark that led to the Red Room. Was this murder sparked by an evil online curse, or was it just the evil intentions of an 11-year-old boy? Until we get a pop-up ourselves, it seems we might never know the answer. Now, I'm sure we've all heard of Bloody Mary. That is an urban legend that's been around since most of us can remember, but did you know that there's actually a Japanese version of it? And this is the urban legend of Hanako-san, otherwise known as Toiro no Hanako-san or Hanako of the Toilet. Now, the spirit that comes out in this urban legend has a few background stories depending on who you ask. Some people will tell you that the evil spirit in this story was actually a little girl during World War II that hid in a stall during an air raid, but unfortunately she didn't survive. Others will tell you that the spirit was a little girl who was trying to run away from her parents because they were trying to kill her, so she hid inside a restroom stall, but unfortunately this was not enough to keep them out and she was murdered. One thing that most versions of the story do agree on, however, is that she was killed in the third floor restroom inside the third stall. So you have to go to exactly that restroom and that stall in order to summon her. According to the legend, if you want to summon her, you have to stand outside the stall, knock 3 times while saying, "Hanako-san imasuka," or "Hanako-san, are you there?" After a short silence, you will hear a quiet, "Yes, I am." At that moment, the stall door will slowly open, and you will see what looks like a small head peeking out of the toilet. She will then stare at you as her fingers grip around the toilet seat. But right as you try to walk away, she will jump out and grab you and take you with her down the toilet. Anyways guys, that's all the urban legends I have for today. Today we were covering Japan, so I hope you all enjoyed it. If you guys have any idea on what country I should do the next urban legends on, then leave that down below in the comments. Anyways guys, this has been Sinister Stories, and thank you so much for staying till the end. Make sure to drop a like if you liked the video, and make sure to drop a dislike if you didn't like the video. Also be sure to leave any comments down below on what you think of these urban legends. Until next time guys, stay safe.